whoa, actually, my narcissist didn't like mirrors. Did your narcissist not like mirrors? Now, for some of you watching this, you might be like, that's kind of a weird question. Some of you might be like, whoa, actually, my narcissist didn't like mirrors. If that's you, just leave a comment down below, because I'm really curious to see how many people had a narcissist in their life that actually didn't like mirrors. Like, they didn't like looking at them, they didn't like them around, like they thought things about them, they said things about them, they just did not like mirrors. They didn't like that like reflection. And what's really interesting to think about, like when you break it down, is a narcissist doesn't like a mirror because it reflects what's true. It reflects them. It reflects something that actually is true and that they actually see. You see, for a narcissist, they want to create that false reality. They want to create something that doesn't exist. And as a reality, they will make anything and everything try to fit in their genre, try to fit in their fantasy, try to fit in the reality that they're trying to fabricate. And when they look at the mirror, they see the person that's not in that fantasy. They see the person that's struggling with shame, that's struggling with guilt, that's struggling with addiction, that's struggling with weight, whatever it might be. They look at that mirror, and that mirror gives them an accurate reflection of who they are in that moment. And for a lot of narcissists, they don't want to see that. Now, you do have the flip side. You have narcissists that are very vain and want to have that pride and want to have that focus on their image, and that image is such a huge priority to them that they love that. Those are the ones that like work out like crazy, that are obsessed with their body, that are obsessed with how they come across, obsessed with how they look to other people, and those people will be obsessed with mirrors. Okay, so there is that section out there. But there's a lot of them that don't like the aspect of mirrors because a mirror reflects what's actually there. And I think a lot of times you have narcissistic relationships. You have people that are in these narcissistic abusive relationships that over a period of time, as they start to set up boundaries, as they start to bring truth to the table, and as they start to say like, hey, these are the actual facts. Like, you did this. Like, you did yell at me. You did hit the wall. You did scream at the kids. And when they start bringing those things up, that's something that the narcissist starts to get disgusted with, because the narcissist is looking in a mirror of the facts of the situation, a mirror of what's happening, and they don't like that. Narcissism hates truth, because truth will lead to honesty, and honesty leads to vulnerability, and vulnerability leads to the aspect of shame and guilt, because you have to walk through those at times to be able to figure out who you are, what you're doing, where you're going. Narcissists don't like to live in a place of honesty. If you think about it, if you do not live in a place of honesty, you have no hope of growth, you have no hope of change, and you're completely and utterly lost. There's nothing. Let's say you are out driving around and you open up your GPS and you just look at your GPS and you're like, I know exactly where I am. You know exactly where you are because that's the actual facts. That's the actual facts of the situation. What happens if you open up your GPS and you have no signal and it doesn't show you anything? It doesn't show you where you are at all. You're not operating on a place that's actually true because you can't see anything. There's no truth. There's no facts to it to be able to say, hey, this is where I am. So when you open that map and you try to figure out where I am, if you're not honest about where you are, you're never going to be able to change. You're never going to be able to grow. You're never going to be able to accelerate who you actually are because you're completely lost. That's what narcissism does to people. And that's what narcissism is a narcissist won't be honest, so as a result, they can't change. A narcissist won't be honest, so as a result, they can't be vulnerable. Narcissists won't be honest, so as a result, they're completely lost. Now, I'm not saying that to build sympathy, and I'm not saying that to have you try to educate them or try to show them the way or try to help them find their way out of the lost darkness. I'm not saying that, okay? So I'm not on this platform to give hope. I'm not on this platform to say, love your narcissist. No, I'm saying if you're with an abuser, go no contact, leave, get out, be more concerned about your emotional safety, your physical safety, your kid's safety, everything like that, than staying with someone that you see potential. because potential will hold people longer than they want to stay for no results. So please be careful with that, because that is something that is very sensitive in this culture, that is very sensitive in people that talk about narcissistic abuse or like narc talk and stuff like that. And you have to be very careful to understand, like, hey, if this person is abusing, is cheating, is lying, is not in a place of truth, and is not willing to go to a place of truth, then I need to leave. I need to take it to a no contact state, because otherwise my physical, my mental, my spiritual, my sexual, everything like that is under attack and is going to be abused on a day-to-day basis. So narcissists don't like mirrors. They don't like mirrors because they reflect truth. As you go throughout your day, be a person that reflects truth. Not just a narcissist, I'm just saying, like, in general, to people out there. Be a person who reflects truth. Because otherwise it's so easy just to think and just to walk through life and not really engage, not really focus, and not really see where we're going, where the long term is. I was talking about like the map example. Like a map example is like really huge. You put out a map and you say, I don't know where I am. If you don't know where you are, then you're lost. And what I'd like to tell you here is, for people, like, not even saying for like narcissists, but just for people here, if you open up your life, if you open up the map of your life and you say, hey, I don't know where I am, then let's go ahead and work on defining it. Let's go ahead and figure out, where are you right now? Let's look at the facts of your situation. Let's look at the facts of your relationship. Let's look at the facts of your job. Let's look at the facts of your life. Let's look at the facts of how you're taking care of yourself physically. Let's look at all the facts and say, hey, this is where you are. So oftentimes when people look at the facts and they start to realize this is where I am, they'll get like frustrated and they'll get annoyed, because they're like, this is not where I want to be. I want to be down here. I want to be farther along. And they'll beat themselves up. They'll get frustrated. They'll get annoyed because they're not where they want to be. What you need to focus on is where you are currently, and then the steps to get there. What's the thing you can do today to be able to get yourself to that long-term goal? What's the thing you can do today to help yourself to achieve that vision, to achieve that goal, to achieve that success? But what can you do today? And so often we get confused and we get blinded by everything else going around us. If you're with someone who's a narcissist, you get confused just by the fog of the lies that they put on you, the fog of the misconception, the gaslighting, the false truths, the lies of omission, everything that gets put on you, and you can't see long term. So I'm saying right here, focus on where you are now and look at the facts, because the facts about the situation, the facts about the relationship, the facts about your life will be what will set you free. But if you don't focus on the facts, if you don't focus on the truth of, hey, on the map, this is where I am right now, if you don't focus on those, you're going to be lost. So focus on the facts of the situation, where you are now, and also then where you want to go. And how are we going to get there? Maybe that's a section now in your life where you need to cut out that toxic person. Maybe that's a point in your life you need to renew your vision of where you're going. Maybe that's a point in your life where you need to say, hey, I need to make changes in my life. I need to change some of my habits. I need to put in new habits. I need to pull out bad habits. I need to change some things around because I need to focus on my growth, my development. Be a reflection of truth to other people's lives. For a narcissist, it's going to look like boundaries. For other people, that's going to look like character. It's going to look like vulnerability. It's going to look like honesty. Because you need to be a dealer of truth. You need to be a person who focuses on the facts. Because once again, just so you can hear it, for all the people in the back, the facts will set you free. They'll set you free from the feelings. They'll set you free from the lies. They'll set you free from the control. They'll set you free from the manipulation. When you focus on the facts and you say, hey, this is where I am. This is where I need to be. Let's make a plan. Let's get you there as quick as possible so that you can focus on your healing, your growth. That's why I'm on here. I'm on this platform to promote awareness, growth, healing, and change. And I do that daily by talking with people who've been in narcissistic abusive relationships and who have got themselves out or who are struggling to figure out how to get out. And so we walk through that on a step-by-step basis, trying to get you healing, growth, and change and get you to a place of safety and growth. Because that's what it's about. You can't change them, but you can change you. You can't manipulate them to be better, but you can change you. You can't make them grow, but you can grow yourself. That's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on upping your level of self-confidence, upping your level of growth, upping your level of intelligence around all of this stuff so that you can be free from the lies that the narcissist puts you around. If you like what you see here, I would love to talk to you one-on-one. Go to my website, Raw Motivations, click on one-on-one coaching. Would love to talk to you more. Now, follow on some of the other profiles. Please subscribe on here. Then we've also got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or you're listening either on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Thank you guys so much.